All right, welcome back to JungleCon. Now, when starting a business on Amazon, it's very easy to overlook the less exciting parts of the process. Oftentimes, when you imagine selling on Amazon, you think about which product you're going to sell, the images you're going to take, or even the keywords you're going to use for your listing. So you're most likely not too excited about going through the legal process of setting up your business. That's where Brian Connolly and Joe Cardillo are here to help you understand both the requirements and best practices for setting up your online business. Brian is an e-commerce expert and writer for Jungle Scout with over 6 years of experience selling on Amazon. He shares his expertise in Jungle Scout's guides, articles, and videos, and has experience with nearly every method of selling, from wholesaling to private label FBA. Presenting alongside Brian is Joe, an affiliate marketing manager for Jungle Scout who started selling on Amazon in 2017. He creates long-lasting partnerships with affiliates that help empower Amazon sellers around the world and is passionate about digital and affiliate marketing, e-commerce, and entrepreneurship. Please welcome to the stage, Joe Cardillo.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Thank you, Jake. Hello, everyone. In this session, we're going to be covering how to choose a legal structure for your business, how to set up trademarks and brand registry, and lastly, how to understand insurance and taxes on Amazon. Although this isn't a super exciting topic, it is critical to understand the basics of these subject matters to ensure your success as an Amazon seller. Now, disclaimer, I want to let you all know that neither Brian or myself are attorneys or tax professionals. The information we're sharing with you is based off of our personal experience over the years, starting and growing Amazon businesses. So now let's get started with one of the most popular questions, and that's, do I need an LLC? The short answer is no, you don't need an LLC to start an Amazon business. Instead, you can register your account for free as a sole proprietor, as long as you're a US citizen. However, if you're a non-US citizen and you want to sell in the US marketplace, you will need to set up an LLC. So for US citizens, if you're just testing out the waters for the first time, you may want to start your Amazon business as a sole proprietor, then migrate up to an LLC later down the road. While the benefits of an LLC do outweigh the benefits of a sole proprietorship, there are still a few good reasons why you may want to register your business as a sole proprietorship. In comparison to an LLC, the paperwork is minor and the taxes are straightforward. They're easy to understand, cheap, and simple to start up. You simply just sign up with Amazon using your own name and social security number, or you can get a free EIN, or employee identification number, from the IRS. You can also choose to claim some expenses against the business. However, you're not legally separate from your company, and everything you earn is personal income. So you will have to pay self-employment tax, which is around 15%. This is where the disadvantages come into play. As a sole proprietor, you are the owner of the company and can be held personally liable for any business debts or lawsuit judgments. This exposes your personal assets like your home, your car, or even retirement accounts to risk if someone sues the company or the business cannot pay its bills. While this is the most basic type of business structure to establish, keep in mind, if you are concerned about liability, it may be wise to consider an LLC. An LLC, or a limited liability company, is great for those who are a bit more serious and are confident enough to make this a business for years to come. That's because forming an LLC gives your business its own legal identity. In the eyes of the law, it's treated as a separate person that can own money and property, have a bank account, make agreements, sue people, and even be sued. Because of this, your business's creditors can't go after any money or assets that aren't owned by the LLC. In contrast to a sole proprietorship, your home, car, and other personal assets are protected. While forming an LLC might allow for extra deductions not offered to sole proprietors, single-member LLCs are not taxed as a separate business entity, and you will still report profits and losses on your personal federal tax returns. This means that when you're doing your federal taxes, you are still responsible for self-employment taxes. However, later down the road, as your business generates more and more profits, it may be worth getting taxed as an S corporation to help save on self-employment taxes. While there are more tax advantages for filing as an S corp, this is a bit more difficult to set up and maintain, so we recommend you consult a tax professional about making this transition. Now I'm going to pass it over to Brian Connolly to talk about brand registry.
Thanks, Joe. In this section, we're going to be going over brand registry. Though Amazon FBA is one of the best ways to start your business online, many first-time sellers face multiple challenges to market their product given the limitations on Amazon. Some challenges include not having consistent and complete control over your product listings, or not being able to use videos and advanced branding to market your products like how you would on a traditional e-commerce site such as Shopify. Fortunately, this is where the concept of Amazon brand registry comes in. You can have a big advantage over non-brand registered sellers as well. Here are some advantages of brand registry. Brand registry provides brands with added protection on Amazon and gives you access to a ton of advanced features such as A+ content, video ads, new advertising features, storefronts, posts, and much more. Amazon brand registry gives you, the brand owner, complete control over your listing, making it much more difficult for other sellers to hijack your listings. You also receive a dedicated internal team on standby to help you report and escalate any IP concerns. One of the best features on Amazon brand registry, in my opinion, is the A+ content feature. That allows you to add further text and images to your listings and helps you stand out from the plain text product description like most of your competitors will have. Now, how do you enroll in brand registry? To be eligible to enroll in Amazon brand registry, your brand must have an active registered trademark in each country where you wish to enroll or have a pending application filed through Amazon's IP Accelerator program. Now, let's jump back to Joe where he can explain more about trademarking.
Thanks, Brian. So selling on Amazon is an incredible way to build a business and earn income, but with that comes competition and the need to protect your Amazon business. Unless you're simply reselling products on Amazon, for most private label brands, the best way to defend your products from being copied or hijacked is by getting a trademark for your business. As Brian just mentioned, getting a trademark is the main requirement for enrolling in Amazon's brand registry. However, having a trademark is not a requirement to start selling on Amazon, but having one helps legitimize your brand and unlocks an array of features that can set yourself apart from the competition and increase your likelihood of converting shoppers into customers. Although many first-time sellers have no experience in this area, registering a trademark has never been easier. Amazon now offers a service called the IP Accelerator, which connects Amazon business owners to curated intellectual property attorneys who will help you with the trademark process. By choosing an IP specialist handpicked by Amazon, Amazon will then streamline your approval for certain additional features before your trademark application is even accepted. If you're just now getting a trademark or you've submitted a request through the IP Accelerator program, the entire approval process should take about 2 weeks. Just make sure to submit everything Amazon needs for your brand the first time around. In comparison, you could file for a trademark outside the IP Accelerator program, but it's much likely to take much longer, sometimes 6 or more months. Also, make sure you review all of the eligibility requirements and note that your brand must have an active registered trademark in each country where you would like to sell. So to get the ball rolling, once you have a name and a logo, ensure it is unique and that no other registered trademark exists with the same name. You can verify this on the USPTO website by doing a thorough search using their official database. You can also hire an IP search specialist on Jungle Scout's Jungle Market to perform this search for you. It's important to make sure you file within a specific class for your trademark, as this will define what type of items you'll be selling under your brand. This is similar to selecting a product category on Amazon, and the cost for the trademark will largely depend on which class you register in. Once you've ensured your name and logo are both unique and have filed under the appropriate class, the last step is to hire a licensed trademark attorney to file your trademark application. You can find lawyers offering this service in your local area, online, or through the Jungle Scout market. As Brian mentioned, one of those features is Amazon's Brand Registry, which is an exclusive program offered by Amazon that legitimizes your brand. It also gives you special advantages over non-registered brands, such as a dedicated internal team on standby to help you report and escalate any concerns about protecting your brand. One of the best features of Amazon's Brand Registry is its A+ Content Manager, which allows you to add further text and images to your product listings, which helps you stand out from the standard plain text product description. Ultimately, it gives your listing a much more professional look and might improve your overall conversion rate. Being brand registered also means gaining access to storefronts and videos. This will instantly add value to your brand and legitimize your business. Now I'm going to hand it back to Brian to talk about insurances for your business.
Thanks, Joe. Now we're going to be talking about insurance and what Amazon requires from you. When most sellers first start their Amazon business, myself included, they often don't realize if you're a pro merchant, Amazon at some point will require you to have liability insurance. This is why it's very important to read Amazon's terms of services before you open up an account and start selling on Amazon. If you're selling on Amazon, you need to treat it like a real business, and having the proper insurance to protect yourself and your business is a part of that. Amazon will not have your back if you get sued because of damage caused by something you sold. While you may not experience any issues for the first few years of selling, all it takes is one case to completely screw up your business. You need to protect yourself and your company's assets from any potential lawsuits. By having the proper insurance, you will be covered for any financial obligations resulting from accidents, injuries, or litigations. Now, there are certain requirements that you need to meet to be eligible for insurance. If you have an individual seller account, Amazon technically does not require you to have insurance, though it's still recommended. If you go over a certain sales threshold, Amazon will then require you to carry insurance. It's pretty simple. If your gross sales are over $10,000 per month for at least 3 months in a row, Amazon requires you, as a seller, to carry insurance with at least $1 million in coverage. Now, what type of insurance will you need? According to Amazon, you must have commercial general liability, umbrella and/or excess liability insurance coverage with limits of not less than $1 million per occurrence, $1 million in the aggregate for products and completed operations, and $1 million in general aggregate. Such insurance must include product liability, products and completed operations, bodily injury, personal injury, and broad form contractual coverage. While this may sound complicated, applying for liability coverage is pretty straightforward. Simply contact insurance companies such as Wells Fargo, Progressive, or Geico to receive quotes. There are also Amazon-specific insurers that can help you out with insurance that you need. Here are a few companies that work specifically with Amazon and e-commerce sellers: Well Insurance, Next Insurance, and Bunker Insurance. While you may never need it, it's better to be safe than sorry. Remember, you need to treat your Amazon as a real business. Keep yourself and your business protected. One question that I often get is, do I need liability insurance right off the bat? And according to Amazon Terms of Service, that answer is no. Once you reach that sales threshold of $10,000 in sales per month for at least 3 months in a row, that's when Amazon actually requires you to have such insurance. Though you may not need it, it is still recommended that you have insurance just in case something happens in the future. Now, I'm sure one of your next questions is, how much does insurance cost? From my personal experience in speaking with other sellers, you should expect to pay anywhere from $600 to $800 per year for liability insurance. Now, of course, this depends on many factors such as your sales and the types of products you're selling, but that's just a general idea of what you should expect. Of course, contact each insurer to make sure that you receive the proper quote for your business. All right, now I'm going to hand it back to Joe to speak on how to sell in the US from outside the US.
Thanks, Brian. So a question we often get is, which marketplace should I sell in? What I would say is you should sell in the marketplace that you feel most comfortable in. Typically, this is going to be your home country, somewhere where you can understand cultural values, branding and messaging, as well as language. Now, if your home country doesn't have an Amazon marketplace, or it's pretty new and less developed and there's not a lot of demand or shoppers visiting Amazon, you may want to sell in the US because it is the largest in the world. Now, if you're interested in becoming a seller on Amazon's US platform, but don't live in America, this session is great for you, so listen up. The great news is you don't need to be living in the US to be eligible to sell on Amazon. In fact, of Amazon's 2.4 million third-party sellers worldwide, 83% sell in the US marketplace. And only 49% of those sellers are even located in the US. Currently, Amazon US accepts sellers from 102 countries around the world. You can view the entire list of accepted countries in Amazon's Help Center. Just search for countries accepted for Amazon seller registration on Google. According to Amazon, to be able to sell from one of the countries listed, a seller will need to have proof of residence in their home country, as well as a valid phone number and internationally chargeable credit card. First, make sure you have the following information handy: a valid credit card that's internationally chargeable, a bank account, a phone number, a proof of residence, and tax information. In addition to the basic information I just mentioned, seller candidates must also complete an online step-by-step interview to determine whether or not they will need to fill out a W-9 or a W-8BN form. It may take up to 72 hours for Amazon to review your application and give you permission to sell on Amazon, but sometimes they may require additional information from you as well. In order to import your products into the US, you will need a customs broker to get your product into the country and into an Amazon warehouse. Your customs broker will guide you through the exact process of clearing your shipment, including the requisite paperwork, documentation, taxes, and more. This is perhaps the least desirable aspect of selling on Amazon's US store, but something that all importers will have to go through. We recommend using a customs broker like Flexport, which handles all the customs, freight forwarding, and inventory storage for you. You can find alternative customs brokers with a quick Google search for contact details and reviews. So there you have it. Amazon is a great opportunity to start a business, and even if you're not located inside of the US, if you're a seller, we definitely recommend that you start selling in the US. As a non-US resident, there may be a few easy to overcome obstacles for you to consider, but once you're past them, the benefits can't be beat. You'll have access to Amazon's 2 billion monthly customers in the US, an extensive fulfillment network, and powerful research data. And now I'm going to pass it back to Brian to wrap up this session on taxes.
Thanks, Joe. Now let's talk about everyone's least favorite subject. As Joe mentioned earlier, we are not tax professionals, so please do your own due diligence when it comes to tax obligations or business formation. Consult with a CPA or attorney for any financial, tax, and legal advice. While Amazon now collects and remits sales tax in most states on behalf of all sellers, you will still be required to collect and remit sales tax in your own home state. You may also still be required to file sales tax reports in each state where your FBA inventory is being held. If you are unsure if you are compliant with each state's sales tax laws, please hire an accountant or use a company such as TaxJar. They will automatically pull all of your sales data to make sure you are 100% compliant with each state's sales tax laws. Now, don't forget about federal and state taxes. If you sell anything on Amazon, you need to report those earnings to the IRS. If you meet certain requirements, Amazon will send you and the IRS a 1099-K form. The 1099-K form is a sales reporting form issued by Amazon that provides the IRS with annual and monthly gross sales information that also includes sales tax and shipping fees. To meet those requirements for a 1099-K form, you must have both $20,000 in total sales for the year and 200 individual transactions. Meaning, if you have less than 200 sales for the year, Amazon will not send you a 1099-K form, even if you went over $20,000 in sales. If you don't meet those requirements, as I mentioned, Amazon will not send you that form, but you will still need to file those sales numbers on your tax return. Again, please seek professional tax advice when filing your return for your Amazon sales. This is why it's very, very important to keep accurate records of your sales and expenses. You can use a tool such as JungleCon Sales Analytics to organize and track all of your Amazon sales data so you have a full understanding of your financial health of your business. You can keep track of your profits, your losses, your expenses, everything else, so you make sure you know exactly how much money you're making or losing with your Amazon business. Again, we are not tax professionals, so please contact a CPA for proper financial and tax advice.
So that covers all the different legal aspects you should consider in order to set up and protect your business on Amazon. Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks Joe and Brian for adding as much color to that session as you possibly could. I hope you're still enjoying JungleCon. We have some more great sessions coming up, so make sure you tune in for those. I'll see you there.
In this session, oh, see, I screwed it up. Sorry.
Well, no, that's not right.
Started with one blah, blah, blah.
Broad form, couldn't. Was that good or you want me to redo it?
God, we're wasting gigabytes here.